This is Samoa Joe, and you're listening to the Ringside Report.
All right, yo. Welcome to the Wrestling Uncensored pre-show 387. What's up, everybody? Yo.
Can't believe we're here. It's amazing.
You're amazed? What are you amazed by?
387, it's a lot, man.
387 episodes. Yeah, this is Wrestling Uncensored 387. Well, 387 for me. You've done probably...
Over 300.
Over 300 episodes on the show?
Yeah. Jeremy only did like 60-something.
The history of Wrestling Uncensored. It's a long history. 387 episodes, about 387 weeks. How many years is that? I don't know. No one knows. It's impossible to know. It's a mystery.
A couple weeks off, though, because your son was born last year.
That's true. We had a couple weeks off, so it's been even longer. Pretty much no other weeks off. Like, we don't take vacation or Christmas or whatever.
Well,
we've taken vacation. There's been times where I've been... Maybe we missed a week or so for a vacation.
There's actually like a lost episode where you were on vacation, I think in Nova Scotia, and we were live, and you just called in for the show. You can't find that episode anywhere, but it did happen. I did it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the show doesn't exist.
No, you never saved it because you weren't there, right?
Oh, because I wasn't there, so nobody took the time to save the show or upload it or anything, because I'm the one who has to do all that stuff.
That's right. You're not doing your job, so no episode.
That's right.
There's also that week when you were like dying, you were in the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
Can't forget that.
Oh, man. Yeah, we took the week off there because I was in the hospital with a terrible flu. That was bad. I nearly died. I didn't nearly die, but I tell people I nearly died because it felt like it. It was terrible. Oh, boy. Yeah, I had an IV and everything. Rough times in the history of Wrestling Uncensored. But, yeah, we've done many shows, and we will do many more. I know people are waiting for a New Japan podcast that I'm supposed to drop, and it's coming.
Okay.
It's coming. I'm telling you it's coming. It'll probably drop early next week. I know I was going to do it this week, but things happen, man. You know? And I haven't seen Duntaku Night 2 yet, which just went down. So I have to watch the second night of Duntaku so I can see who wins between Tanahashi and Okada, and then I will recap everybody with a special New Japan-only podcast that'll be up Monday or Tuesday.
I don't blame you. I mean, 6 hours, the Greatest Rumble on Friday. Then you saw Raw and Smackdown live. That's like, what, 2 5-hour shows back-to-back?
Yeah, well, let's see. I got to the Bell Center on Monday about 7:30, I guess. 7? Maybe 7?
Wow, you're really kind of close there, actually. Did you even see, like, main event?
Yeah, I saw main event.
Okay.
So I guess I got there around 7.
Okay.
Saw main event. Saw Raw. And then for SmackDown, I got there a bit later. It was like 7:30.
You missed the dark match then with Rusev Day.
No, I saw that.
Okay.
Just as I was coming in, that match was starting.
All right.
So I saw Rusev Day against the Usos in the dark match, which was all right. Not as good as the post-SmackDown dark match, which was Daniel Bryan against Shinsuke Nakamura, which was incredible. Incredible.
It's amazing that you would think on Raw you'd have a better post-show than on SmackDown, but that wasn't the case given that you have Kevin and Sammy on Raw, but nothing happened apparently, right?
Apart from Kevin and Sammy, Raw sucked. There was so much downtime. I feel like there was more downtime during the Raw taping than the SmackDown. Like the commercial break seemed longer.
Right, yeah.
It was really long. Raw was not that fun.
Wow. It's too bad. But it seemed like it was more lively audience for Raw, though.
The crowd was hotter for Raw. The building was more packed. Like, the building was sold out for Raw, and it wasn't, like, the top level of the Bell Center wasn't sold out. So, the crowd wasn't as loud for SmackDown, but the show was superior.
Well,
by far. As you know, SmackDown is just a better show.
Well, it's surprising because I find Raw has some great talent. It's just they haven't put it together yet, unfortunately. And you didn't even get Kurt Angle, if I'm not mistaken. Did he even show up?
No. I didn't see Kurt Angle. And Ronda showed up and did nothing.
Yeah.
She stood there at ringside. She ran around the ring chasing Mickey J. No, was she chasing
Alexa,
Mickey? Alexa. She chased Alexa around the ring. And that's it. Like, that's all she did.
Yeah.
It was very disappointing. And, Kevin lost to Braun Strowman. The crowd liked Braun Strowman until that point. The crowd was like, yeah, Braun Strowman. Like, he was the only guy in that team that the crowd liked. Nobody liked Bobby Lashley. Nobody liked Roman Reigns. I was surprised, actually. Lashley was not over. People were like, get out of here. You suck, Bobby Lashley. And a lot of people were like, who is this guy? Which is, I was surprised by that. Like, what do you mean, who is this guy? That's Bobby Lashley, man. Like, he's been in TNA for so long. He was a champion. He was in the WWE. He was pushed to the moon when he was in the WWE. He was a big star. I remember doing, I guess it was Ringside Report at the time, talking about how much I disliked Bobby Lashley, how he was terrible, how CM Punk should be winning that ECW championship and not Bobby Lashley. And here he is, back again. And for some reason, this time around, I'm happier about him than I was when he was first in WWE. But the crowd, was not into Lashley. And, of course, they hated Roman.
It's to be expected.
But Braun Strowman was the only guy that they were like, yeah, we like this guy. But then he power slammed Kevin Owens and pinned him in the middle of the ring. And then people were like, yeah, boo, get out of here, Braun Strowman, we hate you now. I don't know why they went with that finish. Put it on Jinder at least.
No, I feel Jinder, they're pushing him a lot more.
Why? Man, Raw is terrible. Can we start the main show? Pre-show over.
Whoa. Pre-show's not over. Because, there's just the YouTube part. So maybe you can cut off the YouTube part.
We're cutting off YouTube already? We're only 7 minutes into this thing, John.
Well,
you want to cut off our YouTube viewers? We have one live viewer right now. Come on, man. There's one guy watching us. Hi, man. How you doing?
It's still longer than last week because you had to cut it for the Greatest Rumble last week.
So I don't even think we had a pre-show last week.
No, we did, but it was kind of short.
It wasn't even on YouTube, though.
No, because of time constraints.
Yeah, I didn't have time.
We can talk about my match that I had this past week.
Let's talk about you.
All right, cool. Me. I like me.
Let me chop you a bit.
No, you cannot. Can I chop your son? No.
So, you want to chop a baby?
Well, I think, sins of the father. No? Yes?
How dare you?
Well, it's your fault. You shouldn't violence.
You even try. You even try. You're in trouble. I'll tell you this much.
This guy. It's you. Get your thumb out of my face.
I'll put my thumb somewhere else, John. You might like it.
It's not with you, that's for sure.
Thumb up the butt.
You always live in the past. It's too bad. You got to strive for the future.
That's right. I'm living in the past. I am the future. Me and Kanye. Future. Don't fuck with us. Oops. Sorry. Didn't mean to swear there. I got a little amped up talking about Kanye.
I really hope YouTube doesn't take this down now because of that.
I don't think they will. YouTube's cool.
Cool. So, yeah, last Saturday I was in St. Basil. Did the annual show I do there every year. 500 people. And I wrestled a guy named Roderick Stone.
Riddick or Roderick?
Riddick.
Riddick?
Yeah.
Riddick or Ridderick?
I guess Riddick. Yeah.
You guessed Riddick, but you just said Ridderick.
Again, wasn't...
Limerick? Is his name Limerick?
No, it's not.
It's
Ridderick. I mispronounced.
Roderick.
I apologize.
Rodrigo.
No, it's not.
Hoyler.
You can keep guessing, but I made a mistake. I apologize for my mistake.
Renato. Okay, what's his name?
Riddick.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
Thanks.
Sorry.
So I get there, and it's about an hour before the show, and going over stuff, going over the ideas for match, and for whatever reason, we have an idea for the opening. He just turns his back on me. So I'm like, wow, this is not going to turn out very well,
When
seems.
You're talking about the match?
Yeah. So I'm like, well, this is not going to turn out very well, it seems. We might have a problem in the ring, perhaps. Who knows? This could be fun. Now, he's a pretty big guy, by the way. He's like 270-something. So
How tall?
He's a little bit taller than me. He's probably like 6'4" or something. So
Jacked?
Yeah. Decent, yeah.
So you're talking about the match, and he turns his back on you?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, we're just like, oh, we could do this kind of spot. And he's like, yeah, we could do that. So I'm like, wow, like, this is going to turn into something in the ring, isn't it? Like,
it's just you and him talking?
Yeah. So I'm like, wow, this is really going to turn into something in the ring, perhaps. Who knows? But, we plan everything out. And I think his mood kind of changed a bit because when I got there, I was still, like, in my street clothes. And by the time we're about to get to the ring, he actually sees how I look, and then suddenly his mood changes a bit. So then he finds a bit more respect for me, like, oh, wow, like, you're in really good shape here. You look pretty good, and like, oh, I train a bit, and we start talking about bodybuilding a bit. So I think that may have eased the tension a bit, helped. And in the end, I thought for an opening match, it was pretty good. No problems.
So this guy saw you. What were you dressed like when?
I just had a hoodie on, like jogging pants.
What kind of hoodie? Like, what hoodie were you wearing?
I had my green hoodie. I don't know if you know my Poly Platinum green hoodie.
You were wearing.
Shout out to Poly Platinum.
It's like a weird green though. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's like a light green.
Yeah, and it's a Poly Platinum.
Yeah.
Hoodie.
Yeah.
And what kind of pants were you wearing?
My green jogging pants.
Your green Adidas pants. Yeah, I can see how you might have been like, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah,
because you're a bit Foley-esque in your attire.
Maybe a lot of guys are like that in wrestling.
I wouldn't describe you as fresh.
A lot of guys in wrestling are like that.
No,
I don't have the fanny pack. Everyone else has the fanny pack.
I'm not saying no disrespect. I'm just saying, you're not into fashion. You're not wearing Yeezys like some dudes I know.
That's your opinion, I guess. Yeah, sure. Apparently, to you, I can't wear a hoodie and shorts. Apparently that's a huge faux pas. So
yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's an illogical dress choice.
I see like 4 people today just walking to your place. Like, it's like that.
Wearing hoodies and shorts?
Yeah.
Well, they're also wrong. You either wear pants and a hoodie. I mean, it doesn't make sense. If you need long sleeves, you need long pants as well. What are you doing? Don't wear shorts.
It's too warm for pants.
Then it's too warm for a hoodie. Why not?
No, it's not.
Why not wear pants and a t-shirt then?
No, it's not right. I tried it. I tried it all. I tried the pants and the shirt. I tried the pants with the hoodie. I'm like, shorts and hoodie. That was right.
I will never, ever. I mean, unless it's like summertime, right?
We're getting there, by the way.
The only time you'll see me in shorts and a hoodie, okay, is summertime, already wearing shorts, but I bring a hoodie because at night it's going to get chilly. So then I put on the hoodie, and then I'm all good. That's a tip for you. It's a tip. But if I know that I'm going to be out during the day and I'm going to go out at night and it's going to be chilly at night, chances are it's not going to be too hot during the day that I can't wear pants. So I'll probably just rock pants and the t-shirt, and maybe bring the hoodie as well. Another tip.
Interesting. Okay.
Fashion tips. That's what we're doing now on Wrestling Uncensored. Fashion tips. I'm not looking that fashionable right now, though. It's unfortunate. It's too bad I can't be more fresh on the pre-show, but you catch me at the wrong time. I don't dress up for the pre-show. I don't dress up to do a podcast with you, John. I'm sorry. I'm wearing a cool Tim Raines shirt, though. You see this? Tim Raines Hall of Fame shirt. You know what I'm saying?
As long as you're wearing a shirt, I'm happy. Don't worry.
You're barely wearing a shirt.
Yeah, but it's okay with me. I don't need to wear a shirt.
I think you do need to wear a shirt.
No, I don't need to wear a
shirt. If you
shirt.
came here shirtless, I would tell you had to put on a shirt.
I think a tank is more than fine.
A tank is okay. A tank I will accept.
Good.
For now. For now. Pre-show over.
Well, the YouTube part, anyways.
No, the pre-show is over. I'm ending it.
But I have some more things to talk about.
What do you have to talk about?
Well,
why do you have to end it for YouTube?
Because there's a little bit more for the podcast only.
Fine. See ya, YouTube. There you go. YouTube's done, John. So what do you have to say?
That's a nice photo, by the way. Fantastic.
I'm not even in it.
Yeah, it's
not even in it. That's why you like it.
You are so good.
You're a real jerk, eh, John? What's your problem? What's your problem? You're like dissing me on Twitter. You're being all mean to me, saying you don't want to go see wrestling shows with me anymore, pretending like we're not actually friends.
Pretending? What are you talking about?
Honestly, what? We're not friends?
I never said. Where was this implied? Like
where was what implied? That we were friends?
That I was pretending.
Pretending what?
To be friends, like.
I don't understand.
Didn't you say, like, we're pretending them to be friends? Like,
well, on Twitter, it seems like we're not friends. You're very mean to me on Twitter, John. And I've had enough of it.
Because of not going to wrestling shows with you. No, I explained
you
that.
Said, yeah, you did explain to me off the air, and we should probably not even discuss it, not even on the pre-show. That's how sensitive that issue is. But can you just explain to everybody that we are cool and that, like, we don't just do the show together because, I saw some of those comments on Twitter. People were like, is there heat? People thought there was heat between you and me.
No, there's no heat.
There's no heat.
I'm surprised. Wow. Like, maybe I don't agree with some things that you say.
What? Like what? What did I say?
I think there was something about Big Cass and how Big Cass shouldn't be involved in the storylines whatsoever.
How he shouldn't be doing anything?
Yeah, no.
I didn't say that. I just said he shouldn't be involved with Daniel Bryan.
No, but he kind of needs to be at this point. Because of what happened at the Greatest Rumble, Daniel Bryan actually needs his revenge. And after what happened on SmackDown. You actually need to do the match at this point. I get that you don't want to see that. You don't want Daniel Bryan to interact with him whatsoever, but we're at the point where you have to do this.
Well, now you have to do it, but it should never have started. Like, they shouldn't have even gone down this road of Bryan versus Cass. I didn't want this to begin. Of course, now you have to do it because you've built it, but, like...
This was a good idea, in my opinion, because... Huh? No, it was, because someone who actually needs, to wrestle somebody established to get him going, he's not even going to get the win at Backlash, more than likely.
He better not.
More than likely, he's not going to win. I mean, look at all the... He's gotten almost all the over.
Cass wins, we riot.
Well, maybe then I understand, but... This is him getting over without even winning a match.
Did you see the promo he cut on SmackDown?
With the wee Daniel Bryan?
Oh. You see my face?
I didn't see your face, no.
You didn't see my face?
I didn't see your face.
Just... I couldn't believe it. Just like, this is the face. All right, you won't be able to see this, but...
Oh, wow, okay. You weren't very happy, I guess.
No, I was like, are you kidding me?
Actually, I did see a bunch of tweets about how you're on the phone all the time. Like, you don't even watch wrestling.
One guy said I was on the phone. And you know when I was on the phone? When Randy was in the ring.
Oh, that's when you should be, awe-inspired right there.
Nah, I was, checking my... People were texting me. They're like, hey, I see you on TV. And people were tweeting me saying the same thing. I was like, yeah. I was in the Hulk Rules shirt, brother.
I think
the red and yellow.
I think people could spot you quite well.
People saw me. I saw a lot of guys. Our boy Neil out in England. I want to get his exact Twitter handle, but you know who I'm talking about.
Neil Rowe, I think 31.
Yeah. He sent me a picture of myself, and the man sitting next to me was my brother, my main man, in the Austin 316 shirt. We're really going old school on the shirts. For the SmackDown event, I got the Hogan. He's got the Stone Cold.
Well, I thought you were trying to be controversial by wearing the Hogan shirt.
No, I wasn't actually. I was trying to be easily spotted so that my parents could see me on SmackDown and we could wave to them.
And your brother?
Because they want to see us.
Wearing a black shirt?
Well, because they would know, okay, here he is.
Okay.
And, there's our other son right next to him. You know, they spot me, then you can see him easily.
He didn't have the red Hogan, I guess.
No, he wasn't wearing his red Hogan that time. Yeah. Brother. Yeah, it's just because I knew that we were going to be right there, so I was like, wear the yellow shirt so you could see me.
Now, did you meet anybody at the shows, though?
No, I didn't see anybody. I wasn't really walking around that much, though, during the shows, so I didn't actually get to meet anybody, which was disappointing. Because usually, some listeners of the show up and say hi, and it's always cool to see that. But I didn't meet anybody at the show this time. And I saw a couple guys on Twitter say they were going to be there and stuff. It would have been nice to meet up with them, but we don't have like a meetup point. I'm thinking actually for the next time that they come here, maybe we do a post-event something somewhere for the Wrestling Uncensored universe. I don't know where. Maybe a place,
Like Casual Sport?
Nah, I don't know. Not maybe like that, but not that exactly.
Like the setting, anyways. I'm not saying the actual.
Yeah. Like a bar or restaurant, perhaps, or a weed cafe or whatever. Whatever comes up. Jiu-jitsu gym, whatever you want to do. Parking lot somewhere. Who knows?
Pretty much some place where everyone can pack in and listen to us talk.
Yeah, and talk about wrestling with us and meet us and whatever.
Could do it at the Comedy Nest almost.
Some thought for the next time they come around, Johnny. What do you think about that?
I'd be down for that, yeah. Be cool.
Expand the universe. Big things happening. Wrestling Uncensored Mania.
Well, I felt like we already lived through that with WrestleMania 34. So
No. It's coming. But here, see Neo Row 31, our buddy out in England, tweeted a picture of me during the Big Cast segment. And you could see my expression, John. Not too impressed. Not too impressed.
No, not at all.
And there's my brother right next to me in this sweet Austin 316 shirt.
Yeah, but the yellow really helps, though. I mean,
yeah, well, that's it. That's why it's easy. That's why it's good. And I did it for the Wrestling Uncensored universe, man. You want to see what I think of SmackDown? Watch SmackDown. You can see my reactions live.
That's good. And 205, I guess, as well, right?
Yeah, 205 Live. I was there.
You actually stayed.
Yeah, well, of course I stayed for 205 Live. Daniel Bryan was the main event. He was the dark match. I didn't get Bryan on SmackDown, so I got him against Shinsuke Nakamura in the main event. It was incredible. Let's get to the main show.
All right, let's do it.
Let's talk about... hey, we got to preview Backlash. Is there another pay-per-view this Sunday?
There is.
What the hell? Are you kidding me?
Well, you can swear on YouTube, but you can't swear on the podcast only.
I don't know. I'm trying to slow down. Trying to take it easy here.
For your son.
For everybody. It's a little dark in here.
It is. Taker's coming.
Hey, Google. Turn on living room. Boom. How you like that?
It's a little slow with our Google, but...
Yeah, well. It's voice-activated lights.
2018, my friend.
Boom. Living in the future. You say I'm living in the past. How dare you? Okay. Let's get to it. Oh, wait a second. I want to promote the Backlash post-show that I'm going to do.
Okay, wow.
I'll be here. I'll be on YouTube, and I'll be on a podcast. We're going to do a show after Backlash. YouTube or Periscope. I don't know. We'll see. Probably YouTube or Periscope or both. But check my Twitter feed at Dave Simon MMA. I'll be live tweeting Backlash with you, of course, Sunday night, and I'll do a show right after the show.
Another wild Sunday night.
It never ends. Wrestling Uncensored. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, this is Mick Foley, and you are listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
This is Santino Marella, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
Hey, this is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, and you are listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
Aw, yeah. Welcome to Wrestling Uncensored. I am Dave Simon. He is Johnny North. WrestlingUncensored.net is our website. You can follow us on Twitter. Follow me at Dave Simon MMA. Follow Johnny North at North Genesis. We're on iTunes. We just got done the world-famous Wrestling Uncensored pre-show, and you can download that exclusively at WrestlingUncensored.net, on iTunes. It's on YouTube as well. We do a live video stream of the pre-show on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ringsidereport.net, DOTNET. All the info for iTunes, for Google Play, for YouTube is up on our website at WrestlingUncensored.net. We have a lot of professional wrestling to cover here. The WWE was in Montreal this week, doing both Raw and SmackDown live at the Bell Center. I was there for both shows. I know a lot of you were sending me pictures of myself from the TV because you were seeing me on SmackDown a lot wearing that Hulk Hogan shirt because I'm always repping for Big Terry, brother. And it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself, had a good time. I went to the show on Monday with Fred and my brother. Of course, Fred Garcia from Ringside Report Radio, my man Freddie. And then I went to the show on Tuesday on SmackDown with my brother. Had a really good time. I thought SmackDown was the better show. I thought Raw had the hotter crowd, though. It was completely sold out for Raw. The building felt like it was going to explode for Sami Zayn when he came out. Similar for Kevin Owens, just a huge pop for those guys. They are huge in Montreal. Roman Reigns, not so much. Heavily booed by the Montreal crowd. That was a lot of fun. I thought Raw overall was not a great show this week. Heading into Backlash, I thought SmackDown had the better effort overall. The main event of Raw, we had Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. Main event of SmackDown, we had that 6-woman tag team match. Neither show really offering exceptional matches. I thought the match that was the best of both shows was the dark match main event after SmackDown, Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I thought it was going to be AJ versus Nakamura, but when they announced that Daniel Bryan was in the building and he was going to be wrestling Nakamura, I lost my mind. I was like, yes, I can't believe this is happening. I get to see this live. Nobody else gets to see this but the people in this building. That was the moment of both nights. That was my favorite match, favorite moment. Bryan wrestling Nakamura. It ended with Nakamura hitting Bryan with a low blow. I posted the finish. You can see the video on my Twitter feed at Dave Simon MMA. I loved it. Loved it. And I'm surprised that a lot of people left after SmackDown. They announced Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke Nakamura will take place after 205 Live. Stick around. And people did not stick around, which was a little bit disappointing. But, I mean, a lot of people did stick around, but surprised anybody left the building knowing that Daniel Bryan was going to show up and wrestle Nakamura. But, hey, I understand people have kids, and the kids are there, and they have to go to school the next day, and it's a late night, and whatever. But, man, if you stayed, you got one hell of a show from Daniel Bryan and Shinsuke Nakamura.
The thing is, too, people realize this is going to be a TV match, so they know they're not going to get anything really out of the ordinary. But, like you said, it's Daniel Bryan Nakamura. You've never seen that before. It may not be like a 5-star classic, but it's still going to be something really special.
When's the next time you're going to see that?
Well, you say that, but who knows what after Backlash, we might just get this program right away. They may have just been testing that to see what the reactions would be like.
Yeah, but we've never seen it before. You know, we don't know. We don't know what the plans are for the future. We don't know anything. And the fact that we've seen so little of Daniel Bryan so far, and now we got this in Montreal, was really special.
Well, special because on TV we were told Daniel Bryan had a chest infection, so he couldn't be on SmackDown at all, which was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, which I didn't know about. I haven't watched SmackDown or Raw this week because I was in the building, so I didn't hear that on commentary. It's kind of weird.
Because of all the chops he took. That's why he had the infection.
Man, he took some crazy chops.
He did, but if that's the case, like I would never be in WWE because that's almost every week you get chops like that.
Yeah. Well, wrestling outside of the WWE is different than wrestling inside WWE, right? It's a safer world when you're inside. They make it safer.
There's not many chops.
There's not as many hard strikes. I mean, we just saw, before the show, I was showing you some stuff from New Japan, some of the highlights from the past couple of weeks, and I showed you the finish to Tetsuya Naito and Minoru Suzuki.
Yes.
And Naito was slapping Suzuki severely, some huge slaps, so hard that Suzuki started bleeding from his nose. You'd never see that in WWE.
Maybe in a Brock Lesnar match, but that's about it.
Not slaps, though. Brock doesn't do slaps like that. Elbows.
He slapped Roman once.
Yeah, once. Those slaps from Naito were crazy. You ever seen anything like that in WWE? You ever seen anything like that? I mean, other than, I guess, in New Japan.
No, just in Japan, actually, when he did that to Asuka.
Yeah, Suzuki did it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very tough guy. And it's a different wrestling style out there, so it's a little bit safer in WWE, which is good for a guy like Daniel Bryan. The only time it gets a little bit worrisome is when he faces a guy who's just not good enough to keep it safe, kind of like a Big Cass. And that's what worries me about this match going in to Backlash with Big Cass. Why is the WWE insisting on making Daniel Bryan's first singles match since his return from injury against a big green guy? A guy who is inexperienced, who could be dangerous, who could hurt Daniel Bryan. Why is the WWE doing this? Why Big Cass? Why did it have to be him?
Because he's a big guy. They haven't really seen what he could do yet against top talent. So they're throwing him up against pretty much their biggest face in the company and seeing what he can do. As long as you're tall, they're going to give you an opportunity. Baron Corbin's a good example.
Yeah. Another low light of Raw. Raw was terrible. Can I just stick with Raw and how bad it was? Baron Corbin against No Way Jose. When they announced that, I was like, are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. The breaks during Raw just seemed longer. It just felt like it was going on forever. SmackDown did not feel like it had as much downtime as Raw. And then when we did get matches on Raw, it was the worst matches. Who else wrestled on Raw? It was Corbin and Jose, but there was another really bad match. Didn't Bobby Roode wrestle somebody?
Elias?
Yeah, Bobby Roode wrestled Elias. That match went on way too long. It was awful. Both of those guys are just terrible. I can't say it nicer. They're terrible. They're awful. I don't like them at all. I did come up with a very funny Bobby Roode song replacing the words, a parody of his theme music. I don't know why I'm bringing this up, because I cannot sing the words on the radio. But remind me later, John. I will sing it for you. Maybe I'll put it on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, quite a dirty mouth, man.
I'm filthy. I'm a terrible man.
As much as you didn't like Raw, a lot of people like Seth Rollins. That's what I gathered from Raw. Gathered from what Twitter. People were like, that was one of the greatest moments for Seth Rollins, and he may have like reestablished himself as the guy on Raw now.
Huh?
That's what I gather.
I missed that. See,
Okay.
I feel like I'm the only guy who missed that. Because everybody else is like, man, Seth Rollins is the new Stone Cold. Man, Seth Rollins was so over. Oh, did you hear the pop Seth Rollins got? Montreal loves Seth Rollins. I'm like, yeah. I mean, he's over. He's not anywhere near as over as Sammy and Kevin. Nowhere near.
He tried to do some French, you know.
Yeah. Nowhere near as good as Sammy and Kevin. Like, Seth Rollins is a good wrestler.
That was a very good match with Finn, actually.
It was okay, but I was not blown away.
Well, you've seen it too many times, maybe.
Well, no. I don't
Okay.
think that's it.
You're
Seth
hard to please.
Rollins, he just doesn't go the extra step to make me go, wow, this guy is something. I look at him and I say, yeah, he's good, but I'm never amazed with what he can do. Like, I get it, but, like, his promos are really boring. For me. Maybe somebody likes it. You know, I'm sure he has fans. I heard them. You know, they were loud, for sure. People liked Seth Rollins. But, I don't know. I don't get it.
I think it's his athletic ability. It's pretty much like best.
No, it's not.
In WWE, who's more athletic than him?
AJ Styles.
Okay, on Raw.
Finn Balor.
Finn went toe-to-toe with him, and it was a great back and forth.
Finn is better. Like, Finn, to me, is a better version of what Seth Rollins is.
In terms of promos, I think they're about on par.
Sure, fine. Finn's a better wrestler, though, so he's a better version. That's what I'm saying. Finn is better. I wanted to see Finn win the Intercontinental Championship. When they said, here, the title's on the line, it's the main event of Raw, they built the match, they're even in their series, this is the 5th match, the winner of this is the real guy. And then Seth won, I was like, man, I wanted Finn to win.
Right before a pay-per-view? Like, come on. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I know, but I want it to happen.
You should be happy you got a title match in Montreal.
I shouldn't be happy when I'm thinking, oh, Seth's probably going to win, and then he does. That's like a title match on a house show. It's like, oh, you should be happy you got a title match on a house show. Why? Title's not going to change hands. Who cares? I would have been happy if I got a title change in person. That's what I want to see. I want to see the title change hands. The pop would have been much bigger had Finn won the match and won the title.
It really seemed like it was all about Seth Rollins, though. A lot of the attention was. That's why he got the promo. Finn got a little bit over because he laid him out in the segment beforehand. But it seemed like it was really Seth's night. Like, apparently after Raw, like, he got the promo afterwards, right?
Yeah, he did a little promo.
It seemed it was all about Seth on Monday.
I just compare him to other guys, and he doesn't stand up. I compare his promos to other guys that cut promos, and he's not as good. I compare his wrestling to other guys that wrestle, and he's not as good. Like, he's a B-plus player at best.
I think a lot of people will disagree with you.
I know a lot of people would disagree with me, and that's okay. Wrestling is a subjective art form. There's no right or wrong, really. It's whatever you like, whatever appeals to you. Seth Rollins does not really appeal to me. Not into it. He needs to have better promos. He needs to be more entertaining. He needs to take more risks in his matches.
By the way he talks, it sounds like he's already beat up. It sounds like the road is taking its toll on him. And he does enough high-flying enough as it is. He dives pretty much like 3 or 4 times a night. I think if he does more, he's just going to risk another injury again.
But I don't think his dives are that impressive. Like, that's the thing. Like, I see him and I'm like, yeah, no big deal. Because I've seen 1,000 guys do it better. Like, every move he does, I'm like, yeah, whatever.
So he needs to change it up.
Like, is he better than Cesaro in the ring?
Cesaro didn't even wrestle. It was Sheamus this week.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you line up every wrestler in the WWE as far as their in-ring ability, where does he really stack up? Where is he on that list? I don't think he's that high. Yet he's booked, like, right near the top. I mean, so is Roman Reigns, and, you know, if you looked at his in-ring ability and his matches compared to everybody else in the company, I mean, that doesn't really add up either. That's the way the WWE works.
Well, I think in-ring, I think Seth Rollins is top 5, easily.
You also said Randy Orton was top 5, though, John. So I don't really believe anything you say.
Yeah, Randy Orton is amazing. That's something like, wow, just him coming out and like the RKO that he nailed on Jeff Hardy, the reaction in the building, what was that like?
People were upset.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Like, I can't believe it.
People were like, Randy. What you got to do that to Jeff for? People were way more behind Jeff than Randy.
That's surprising.
Really? Jeff Hardy's one of the most over guys in the history of the WWE.
I will never forget, I think it was Breaking Point 2012 when Randy against John Cena, when Randy Orton came out. That reaction he had was deafening. It was one of the greatest reactions I've heard.
I don't even want to talk about Randy Orton. Like, I don't even want to go there. Who's he wrestling at Backlash? We got a pay-per-view to cover here, John.
Justin Jeff Hardy, who he gave the RKO to for the U.S. Championship.
He's not going to win it back. The U.S. title, is he?
Well, the problem is because Shelton's involved too, right?
Is it a triple threat?
It's not, but you imagine he might get involved and cost Randy the match.
Shelton looked good.
Shelton's good. He should be involved. It should be a triple threat match, but maybe they're dragging this out.
Yeah. So we'll have a non-finish with Shelton interfering, you think?
Very possible.
That makes a lot of sense. I like that AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura has been turned into a no disqualification match for that WWE title. AJ's promo this week on SmackDown. Not, I mean, he gets a good reaction when he comes out because he's AJ Styles and everybody loves him. Then he starts talking and people are kind of like, yeah, we love you, AJ, but when's this going to end? Like, this is kind of, like, it's like quiet. Like, you feel awkward almost. You're like, yeah, this isn't really going so well, AJ. We like you a lot, buddy, but promos are not your strong suit right now. Or the script isn't working. I don't know, man. That promo on SmackDown I felt bad.
He's hit or miss with his promos. It really depends what he's talking about.
Lately, though, it's been kind of miss, right?
Yeah, it has been more miss, but I think it's because he's kind of lost that edge a bit. His character was a lot more edgier before, and then when he was progressive into a face, he still was somewhat of a heel in his promos, but now he's like complete face, and like his promos, there's nothing to them.
He really has no character at this point. He's the WWE champion who's been holding the title for a while. He's the phenomenal AJ Styles. It's the house that AJ Styles built. And he gets hit in the groin a lot by Shinsuke Nakamura.
He doesn't like that too much.
He doesn't like it. And he says he's going to beat Shinsuke Nakamura. And I think he's calling Nakamura a coward a little bit, right? That's kind of his new thing. But there's not much there. Like, there's no meat to that character. It's very bland babyface. And that doesn't really work.
You would hope maybe with the club being there, it might help add something to his character, but they haven't really done anything with it. They had one match together, and there was no follow-up whatsoever.
If you kept him with those guys, it looks cool. He looks cooler, and they have more fun. That character, people like. And they don't want to see him get low-blowed by Shinsuke Nakamura. And they get mad at Nakamura when he does that to the cool AJ with the club. But when it's just that kind of normal AJ by himself and Nakamura hits him low, people are kind of like, yeah, all right. Like when Nakamura attacked AJ Styles, people were into it. People were into Nakamura attacking AJ. You turn Nakamura heel. You go through all this trouble. And you might turn him babyface in the process. And AJ will be this like heel that people just don't like because he's lame. It's a dangerous path. And it could blow up in their face here at Backlash. It might not, because people do like AJ when he's wrestling. But I'll tell you, in that segment, it felt like Nakamura was becoming the babyface and AJ was becoming the heel. Because AJ cut that promo and people were like, yeah, this is boring. And then when Nakamura attacked him, it was like, yeah, Nakamura, look how cool he is, dancing around. Is he going to hit a Kinshasa? Is he? Is he? Oh, he did. Yeah, Nakamura. That was the reaction. And that's not what you want right now for the WWE, for AJ Styles. You want him as the babyface, but they are failing in doing that. And I think you're right. I think that keeping Anderson and Gallows with him, it makes him stronger. It makes him cooler.
But they're also not going to put them with them because it makes it seem like it's not fair. It's 3-on-1 in that case. So
what? But that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, it's 3-on-1. Nakamura, what are you going to do now? Yeah, people are going to be like, yeah, get him, AJ.
They won't do that. They won't do that.
No?
No.
Why not? It's cool, though. Like, it works, you know?
I agree with you, but I don't think they see it that way. I think a lot of the reactions they based off this week are just like Montreal going against the grain. So we're not going to say that's how everyone else thinks. Not everyone thinks Roman sucks. Their crowd was turning on for Roman, so Montreal's just in that bizarro world. That's it.
Well, how many people from the WWE, though, came out and said, oh, what a great crowd. Montreal, we love you. You're the best. So many people were tweeting out. Like Rollins, I saw Bayley, Corey Graves, a bunch of people.
Not Sasha.
Why not? Oh, well, yeah. Sasha got no reaction when she came out.
It was really bad. It's like, whoa, who's the face, who's the heel of this one? This is bad.
Yeah, what was that match? Sasha versus who?
Ruby Riott.
Right. That was on Raw. That was
long, too.
Forgettable match as well.
You forget it was long.
Yeah, but I posted a video on my Twitter feed when Sasha came out. There was no reaction.
You could tell on TV, too.
You could tell, right?
Oh, yes.
It was dead for Sasha. No one cared. It was weird. Because the problem is with Sasha, again, it's poor booking that has screwed her, just like with AJ Styles. Sasha Banks is not clearly a babyface or a heel right now because of her feud with Bayley. And I think they're trying to make Bayley the heel because Bayley's the one that has now turned her back on Sasha. The problem with that is Bayley's so obviously the babyface, and Sasha has turned her back on Bayley so many times that people are like, yeah, it's about time Bayley turns her back on Sasha. It's only right that she does that. But the WWE's framing it in a way where, no, Bayley's the bad one, Sasha's the good one. You're supposed to cheer for Sasha. But the audience doesn't really see it that way. And then Sasha goes up against Ruby Riott, who I guess is supposed to be the heel, because the Riott Squad are heels. But because we don't know how to feel about Sasha, and we kind of think she's a heel, we have no reaction for her, because you don't know whether to cheer or boo Sasha Banks. Because it's my impression that she's feuding with Bayley, and she's the heel in that feud. Even though maybe she's not, I guess. But I think the booking has screwed Sasha Banks in the sense that the audience doesn't know whether to cheer or boo Sasha, so they don't react at all.
I think it's just a feud that's dragged on way too long, and it doesn't seem like there's an end game in sight. And I think people are just tired of it, and I've lost interest.
I do not care one bit about them at all. I've completely lost interest in both of them. It's unfortunate. Sasha is one of the best wrestlers on the roster. Bayley's very good as well. And it's just not going anywhere. They're going to have this match against each other at some point. Are they doing it at Backlash?
Oh, I don't think so. We already have 2 women matches.
So it's still not happening. They're still dragging it on, and no one cares.
They're just on Raw. That's it. They're just a part of the roster, and they're just a part of the show, but they're not really major characters. There's a lot going on in the women's division on Raw, and they're just really at the bottom at this point.
Yeah, they are meaningless in that women's division because I guess Natty has taken a top spot.
Yep.
And Nia Jax is going to defend her title against Alexa. Nia and Alexa are still feuding. And Ronda Rousey's there. So Sasha and Bayley really fall way back in the pecking order. I did not like when Nia Jax came out on Raw.
Why?
What was that? Like, you have a Natty wrestling Mickey, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was the finish of that?
I think it was just a run-in for Alexa.
Yeah, Alexa was like cheating or whatever. Ronda chased her off, right?
Yeah.
So they run away. And then Alexa got chased off by Nia, didn't she?
Well, she ran up the ramp.
She ran up the ramp, and then Nia comes out.
Yeah.
And then Alexa still runs away, just another way.
Yeah.
And then Nia comes in the ring, and you're like, okay, here we go. Ronda hasn't done anything. Here's Ronda Rousey. Here comes the champion, Nia Jax. It's on. But no, Nia gets in the ring, and she's like hugging Ronda and Natty, and then they're like posing in the ring together. Because Nia's the great babyface champion that is endorsing Ronda and Natty? What is this? What is all this Nia Jax? It's not working. I did not like any of that. I didn't like the lack of Ronda. Ronda should have armbarred Nia Jax. Should have thrown her around. It would have been fantastic. Imagine Ronda just picking up Nia Jax. I want to see Ronda whoop Nia Jax's ass. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see Ronda and Nia hugging in the ring. Terrible.
There's no beef. That's pretty much what they established.
Yeah, well, there should be. Ronda is a monster, and Nia is the champion. So Ronda is coming after you, Nia. Nia Jax, we're coming for you. You know? I want to see that. And how come Ronda's not wrestling at Backlash? What is this? When's Ronda going to wrestle again? I really thought they were going to do Ronda and Mickey or something. Maybe they're going to wait till the next pay-per-view. They'll do Ronda and Natty against Mickey and Alexa.
Probably.
But I'm disappointed we don't get to see Ronda at Backlash.
Well, you're seeing Ronda more than you're seeing Brock Lesnar every week.
That's true.
But still her matches, they're still a special occasion.
I don't like it. I want to see Ronda wrestle more often.
Well, she's
not going to get better unless she wrestles more often.
But she's going to go through the roster way too quick. So that's why they got to take their time with this. There's not that many women on Raw. I mean, yes, there's more than ever before, but still, Ronda, given the way she's booked, she's going to go through everyone too quick.
All right. But we better not be waiting until SummerSlam to see Ronda again in the ring.
She'll wrestle again for like that tag match you just suggested. But you want that Nia Jax match? You got to wait till SummerSlam at least. Even then, I don't know if you're getting that right away.
Yeah, at least. What's the next pay-per-view after Backlash?
It's not Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank, I think, is... Wait a minute. Maybe it is Money in the Bank, actually. Wow. Man, this thing goes way too quick, doesn't it? But that's the good thing about having, like, a pay-per-view every month. Like, we get through the whole, like, Payback, No Mercy. All that stuff's done now. You just get right to the important ones now.
Next pay-per-view will be Money in the Bank. It'll take place in Chicago on June 17th, followed by Extreme Rules July 15th and SummerSlam on August 19th. So I could see Ronda wrestling in Chicago June 17th. Money in the Bank.
Be in the Money in the Bank match.
Ooh. Whoa.
Why not?
That would be crazy. Ronda in a Money in the Bank ladder match in her second pro wrestling match? That's a bit risky, no?
It might not be that. We might get the tag match. And
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Tag match for there. All right. What do you think about Alexa and Nia Jax here in the rematch at Backlash? I think Nia retains. I don't care to see this. Quite frankly, Backlash, not very good. It is not that exciting of a card. They better do something on this show, make it worth watching, because you look up and down the card, it's not very strong.
Like, there's no real tag team matches? Like, there's a tag match, but kind of just thrown there out of nowhere?
No tag titles on the line. What's the deal with that?
Well, this is the problem about having the Greatest Royal Rumble. You have all these championship matches, so you almost killed a lot of the feuds already. and now you have barely any leftovers.
Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy are the Raw Tag Team Champions. They weren't on the show this week.
They did promo.
They did a promo, but I didn't get to see Matt Hardy. The crowd didn't get to erupt in deletion.
You didn't get to see Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler either, but...
Yeah, I didn't miss those guys. I wanted to see Matt Hardy.
I figured as much. But that's it. There's nothing going for them. They won the titles. They don't have to wrestle the bar again, so there's nothing for them. In 1 week, they're going to have new opponents? No.
Who are they? Who would be their next opponents, though?
Yeah, I could see McIntyre and Ziggler eventually. But they got to build it up.
Ooh, okay. Well, maybe I'm thankful I'm not seeing them on this pay-per-view then. That's not a match I'm looking forward to.
Well, Authors of Pain, they're slowly getting built up too, right?
Yeah. Who did they beat on Raw this week?
They beat 3.0.
Yeah, so they're a local tag team.
Local tag team.
And you've wrestled both those guys, or one of them? Or
I've wrestled them in tag matches. I've wrestled Scott Parker. I think he was Francois in the match. I wrestled him in a singles match for. They're both very good guys. And
they've done kind of spots here and there for WWE, right? They did a couple things in NXT, and
they injured Goldberg when Goldberg was security one time.
What do you mean they injured Goldberg?
When Goldberg threw the clothesline.
He threw a clothesline at one of them?
On one of the security guards, yeah.
And Goldberg popped his shoulder out throwing a clothesline.
Yeah.
It's not. They didn't injure Goldberg. Goldberg injured himself.
They like to take credit for it, though.
Oh, they take credit for hurting Goldberg? Nice.
Especially Shane Matthews, Big Magic. He definitely likes taking credit for that.
Well, that's good. Good for him. So, they've been used here and there from WWE, and they were used again on Raw.
I think the NXT, they had a match as well against the Revival.
Like a while back.
Yeah, I think after WrestleMania. Or it was during WrestleMania, taped for like an NXT show.
Right. They're buddies with Kevin Owens, I'm guessing?
Yes.
And Sami Zayn? Or just Kevin Owens?
I think more so Kevin than Sami Zayn, but I don't think Sami's going to say that he has beef with them.
Yeah. What a reaction for those two guys. What a homecoming.
What an entrance for guys that don't get entrances.
Yeah, right? They got individual entrances. That was great. That was just fantastic. They should have won the match.
No.
Yes.
Authors of Pain. You're going forward with those guys.
No, not Authors of Pain. No, I wasn't talking about I'm talking about Sami and Kevin.
Oh.
What an entrance for Sami and Kevin. No, it was for 3.0 as well. It was cool. They got a promo and an entrance. I mean,
yeah.
They got a pretty big deal. That was nice for them. A pretty good spot for them on Raw. But I'm talking about Sami and Kevin, their entrance, each coming out, huge pop to start off Raw. I feel like they should have won the six-man against Lashley, Roman, and Strowman. It was Jinder against Sami and Sami and Kevin against those three behemoths. And Braun wound up pinning Kevin after a power slam. I don't like that. I mean, that's not what Montreal came to see. Have Sami and Kevin cheat to win. Have them abandon Jinder and have Jinder take the fall. Make it so that Sami and Kevin still look good. Don't have them take a pinfall in the middle of the ring in their hometown. That's not what we want to see.
Thing is, you get cool things on the live events. They've done very cool moments with Pat Patterson in the past. I think Jinder even wrestled Sami for the WWE Championship at a Montreal house show.
Mm-hmm.
They've had some great moments together. So you'll get that, but when it comes to TV, they have a storyline that they're sticking to, so it doesn't matter where you're from. It's funny, too, they were all Canadian, and yet they still didn't win.
Yeah. Team Canada right there. Jinder's Canadian. Of course, Sami and Kevin. I was disappointed.
I'm surprised they didn't do anything after Raw. Okay, you gave Seth Rollins, the spotlight, but, given the reaction, obviously people wanted Sami and Kevin. Why didn't they do anything after Raw went off the air?
I don't know.
That's disappointing.
I was a bit surprised they took the fall. What do you think about their match here?
Why are they doing a match again? The reasoning?
Well, they've been kind of feuding with Lashley and Strowman over the past couple of weeks.
Jobbing the last
They've been
2 weeks.
getting beat up by Lashley and Strowman past couple of weeks. And now they have a tag team match at Backlash, Kevin and Sami versus Lashley and Strowman.
Just so they get beat up some more?
That's what it seems like. What's the deal?
It really seems they're still paying for what happened in that European tour when they left the ring too early for New Day. It feels like they've been paying the price ever since.
They're not getting treated that well. Like, they're not... Like, really? This is what's happening with Sami and Kevin on Raw? Raw is so weak. Raw is such a bad show. You need Sami and Kevin to be major players. And they're being jobbed out to Lashley and Strowman.
Given how weak a lot of people are in promos, Kevin and Sami, they're pretty strong. You think they'd have better roles, but nope. And just go to the show, I think there's heat. They got heat with management or something over that what happened in Europe.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that Elias gets so much promo time every week and we barely hear from Sami and Kevin. Bring back the Sami and Kevin show.
I do like Elias as a character, but in ring, he's not even close to Kevin or Sami.
He's not good. Like, he looks good. He's pretty jacked. He can put a couple words together, but his promos aren't entertaining. He's not good. There's too much emphasis put on him. And then he wrestles Bobby Roode on Raw. Are you kidding me? What was that? Thankfully, Elias isn't on Backlash yet.
Oh, no, he's going to show up. You know that. Like, come on. No, he just died right there.
I can't take it. I can't take it anymore. Like, Raw was really hard to sit through. Other than Kevin and Sami, it was not fun.
By the way, is this going to be the kickoff show, like, for the match, the tag match? Because it kind of feels like they're in that spot right now.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. All right, I want to get to the rest of this card, including Daniel Bryan and Big Cass. What is going to happen there? What's going to happen between Roman Reigns and Samoan Joe? And will Nakamura take the WWE Championship finally here? It's Wrestling Uncensored right here on TSN 690.
This is Rob Van Dam. You're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
This is Curtis Axel, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
Hey, this is Trish Stratus, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored. Keep listening. Stratisfaction is guaranteed.
Aw, yeah. Welcome back. It is Wrestling Uncensored. I'm Dave Simon. He is Johnny North. Right here on TSN 690. Every Saturday night talking professional wrestling. Online at WrestlingUncensored.net. We're on YouTube. We're on iTunes. We're on Google Play. Everywhere you get your podcast, you can get Wrestling Uncensored. This is Wrestling Uncensored, episode 387. We have WWE Backlash going down tomorrow night. It will take place in Newark, New Jersey. It is the first of the new style of WWE pay-per-views where they are dual-branded. We now have Raw and SmackDown matches on every pay-per-view. No longer will we have these standalone pay-per-views. And I thought, hey, we're going to mix the brands. We're going to be able to have some big matches. These cards are really going to improve. And I'm not so sure about that. This card, not so great. I think it got hurt a lot by that Greatest Royal Rumble last week. The build to this card has been virtually non-existent because they were building to that Greatest Royal Rumble, and they only had 1 week in between to kind of prepare you for Backlash. And I'm sure a lot of you listening are like, man, I had no idea Backlash was tomorrow night. Because it's kind of been in the background of the WWE. It's not really been a prominent event that they've been talking about.
I think the huge problem is your main events that you're selling, they're not that appealing. Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, we've seen it before many times actually on Raw. I don't expect anything really different. It's just a singles match. And, you know, AJ Nakamura, like, I want to see that match, but I've been very disappointed in the last 2 matches. I mean, it hasn't really been the 5-star classic you expect.
And I think this is where we get that match. It's no disqualification. things are going to get crazy between AJ and Nakamura. And I'm hoping this is where we get the match that we've been waiting for between these two.
Well, this is definitely going to make or break the event. Actually, this might save the event because it seems very lackluster.
Mm-hmm. But if they can have a 5-star classic match, then all of a sudden it's like, okay, Backlash was amazing. They will close the show, right? This is the main event.
Roman Reigns, I mean.
This is the WWE Championship. The Universal title's not on the line in the Roman Reigns match because Roman Reigns isn't the Universal Champion.
But Roman Reigns, come on.
No. You believe that? You think Roman and Joe will main event this card? Really?
I definitely believe that.
You do?
I do.
I don't believe that. I believe that AJ and Nakamura will headline, and I could see Nakamura taking the WWE Championship here. If he's not going to take it here, will he ever become WWE Champion?
Not against AJ, if he doesn't win here. Because, no more title shots after this, no? I mean, AJ's got to move on, another feud. Kind of hinted that Samoa Joe's next in line kind of thing.
Yeah. So that's it. Nakamura moves on and maybe feuds with Daniel Bryan after this, after losing again to AJ Styles.
Yeah, that sounds very likely. I could see that happening. That's not bad, is it?
That kind of sucks for Nakamura, though. You know, you turn heel, you got a new theme song, you got a whole deal. You lose to AJ at WrestleMania, and then you lose again to him at Backlash in the rematch. Doesn't make Nakamura look that strong. Why can't AJ lose the title and then feud with Joe, and Nakamura and Bryan feud for the championship?
They could go that route. Not impossible. It just feels like Daniel Bryan, it's a slow build towards the championship, as seen by the Big Cass feud.
I'm not saying Bryan has to win the title for Nakamura, but if he is going to feud with him next, why not chase the title a little bit? That's what people want to see. People want to see Daniel Bryan chasing the WWE Championship. Can he do it again? That's what you want on SmackDown. There's nothing better than that.
Actually, Daniel Bryan's biggest thing is The Miz. That's clearly what they're building
towards. Are you kidding me?
I'm not. A lot of people want to see that. That's the number one thing, actually, on SmackDown, I believe.
The Miz is not the number one thing for Daniel Bryan on SmackDown. It's just not. The Miz is a bump in the road.
That's his SummerSlam. I'm telling you. Daniel Bryan, The Miz. We're getting that. It's going to be hard for them to wait that long. I could see, actually, Daniel Bryan get the title shot maybe in July, but he's not going to win because of The Miz. And we're on our road then to Miz, Daniel Bryan, SummerSlam.
Miz should not be taking that seriously. Are you kidding me?
Have you seen the last couple of years? He is taking that seriously.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be.
But he is. It's the way it is.
Daniel Bryan should squash him in 5 minutes on SmackDown.
Will not happen.
That's all I want to see from that.
Never. It won't. It's going to be a competitive match. I can see it going 15 minutes.
You're killing me.
I'm telling you the way it's going to go down. You have to live with that fact. It's going to happen. Too bad.
No. I reject that completely. How dare you?
You're going to see it happen. And
no.
You're just going to have to live with it.
You're going to have to shut up. That's what you're going to have to do. How dare you? Okay, Bryan's going to beat Big Cass, though. I don't have to live with Big Cass beating Daniel Bryan at Backlash, right?
He better win. Wow, if he loses, that's terrible.
He's going to win.
Big Cass got all the over in this feud, so clearly Daniel Bryan should win.
Will he survive? Will he survive?
Yeah. Big Cass, I don't think he's going to do anything that crazy.
One big boot that goes the wrong way could be bad for Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, but you can worry about that in every match. Sheamus, too. Was Sheamus like a careless worker? What happened with him and Daniel Bryan?
Sheamus is pretty rough.
He is, but he's not careless.
He's rough.
Things happen, man. It's wrestling.
That's true. Okay, he better win. So you don't think Nakamura is going to beat AJ?
It's tough, but no, I don't think so.
I can see it happening. I would like to see it happen, but I feel like it probably won't, but I would enjoy that. I think It would be a good move if they went that way. Bryan beats Cass. Shinsuke beats AJ. Joe loses to Roman. So Joe and AJ feud. Shinsuke and Bryan feud. Big Cass does nothing. Big Cass disappears.
I could see Joe lose to Roman, but I think Joe might become WWE champion. I think Joe might beat AJ.
I wouldn't hate that either. As long as the WWE champion is AJ or Shinsuke or Joe or Bryan. As long as they keep it between those four guys, I'm happy. Don't give me another Jinder-style run. Don't give it to Big Cass. Don't give it to, who's from a foreign country on SmackDown? Who's not American?
Almas?
Well, you could give it to Andrade Cien Almas, I guess. To grow the Mexican market. If they wanted to do that. But I don't think they will. Did you see Almas in his promo? He said, tranquilo.
I saw you tweet about that.
Yeah. That's a nod to his group, Los Ingobernables, which, of course, the great Naito has continued in Japan.
I don't think Naito's going to WWE.
No, I don't think Naito's going to WWE either. I don't want him to go to WWE. I think they'd ruin him right now. 10 years, he'll be in WWE. You have a 35, 40-year-old Naito in WWE. You have a 40-year-old Okada in WWE. 10 years.
They all beat up by them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, look how long it took them to get AJ Styles. AJ Styles made his WWE debut at what, like 38 years old?
AJ Styles is 1 in a million, though.
Yeah. Well, Nakamura, Nakamura made his WWE at the WWE debut at 36, 37.
Again, special.
Yeah. Well, Naito and Okada are pretty special, too.
Yeah, but they already have Nakamura. So
yeah, I don't see the WWE going after those guys, at least not anytime soon. Let's get to the rest of this card here. How about Carmella defending the SmackDown Women's title against Charlotte Flair? How does Carmella get out of this one?
Well, again, it seems like Charlotte's had pretty much all the over, so this should be Carmella getting the win somehow, some way, or just by a DQ, whatever, walk away like that. But yeah, I see Carmella walking away still the champion. Probably a DQ finish because I think Charlotte's going to win the Money in the Bank and then turn the tables maybe on Carmella in the future.
Oh, that's an interesting move. I wonder how they're going to do that Money in the Bank.
I say do Raw and SmackDown.
Together.
Together in one, and you could cash in whenever. Doesn't matter.
You can cash in on whoever you want.
Because it's dual, right? So we're all on the same show.
You do 8-person Money in the Banks. You have 4 people from Raw, 4 people from SmackDown. 2 matches, right? 1 for the women, 1 for the men. And then the winner of the briefcase gets a title shot against whoever they want. Brock Lesnar, the Universal Champion, the WWE Champion, or the SmackDown or Raw Women's Champion. That'd be cool. Even if you're like a SmackDown superstar, you could challenge the Raw Champion.
It's the best way to do it because just 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches, that's enough. You don't need 4, 5 Money in the Bank ladder matches. That's overkill. 2. 1 to start, 1 to end.
So you think Samoa Joe's going to become WWE Champion at some point? He probably will not beat Roman Reigns, though, at Backlash, right?
Probably not because for whatever reason now they're rebuilding Roman. And Roman didn't really lose, in a sense, in the cage match, but officially he did lose. So this is his comeback. So, yeah, he's going to beat Joe, I think.
Are we headed towards Roman and Brock again at SummerSlam? That's what it feels like.
I don't know about one. I think one-on-one we're done, but I think maybe throw in Braun and maybe Bobby Lashley.
So a 4-way at SummerSlam.
Yeah, it worked last year, no?
Yeah. That does make sense. So with Brock, again, we're waiting all summer. We'll see him in August.
Well, what? He's going to be at Money in the Bank?
I don't know. It's weird what's going on with Brock Lesnar. He's still champion. Isn't that strange?
With the whole dual brand pay-per-view, it's fine. You have the WWE Championship. You don't need the Universal Championship.
I suppose it does help. It does help that WWE title's there to kind of replace it. So you forget about the Universal title. But it's still out there. And when you watch Raw, it's quite obvious. Seth Rollins even made a comment about Brock Lesnar on Raw.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get that match too.
One-on-one? Or
Yeah, why not?
at SummerSlam?
I don't know about SummerSlam, but somewhere down the road.
I don't know what that was about. Why did Seth Rollins mention Brock's name? It's kind of weird to me.
Champion versus champion. I could see them doing that.
I don't know. How about Seth and The Miz? Miz hasn't taken the Intercontinental title back, right? Obviously. He's on SmackDown. This match is pointless. What are we even watching this for? I mean, it's The Miz and Seth Rollins. Not a match I want to see to begin with. And we already know the outcome. So who cares?
What I think hurt Seth Rollins is that he just had a great match, in my opinion, with Finn Balor. And I think there's just no way he can have that good of a match or close to it against The Miz.
Not even
so
close.
It's going to hurt his stock a bit, where people are like, he's a great wrestler, but to have that kind of match with The Miz, I think it'll be okay at best. That's what you're shooting for with this.
Yeah, and Seth is going to win. You think Jeff Hardy's going to retain over Randy? I think Jeff will win.
Well, Sheldon interfering. I mean, there'll be some sort of DQ or whatever.
Yeah.
The title's not changing hands yet.
So we're predicting no titles to change hands here.
Yeah, why not? I mean, we just had a bunch of title changes at WrestleMania. Do we need more title changes?
I don't know. We think AJ will retain over Nakamura. Seth Rollins will retain the Intercontinental title over The Miz. Jeff Hardy will retain the U.S. title over Randy Orton. Nia Jax will retain the Raw Women's title over Alexa Bliss. And Carmella will retain the SmackDown Women's title over Charlotte Flair. It's a lot of titles on the line without a single change.
It's a good point. I mean, maybe one will change. I wouldn't be surprised. Charlotte, why not? Always give it to Charlotte. It's not a bad idea.
Just give it right back to her?
Why not?
Carmella's promos have not been great.
Charlotte is still the best women's wrestler on SmackDown. It's not a bad idea.
I will say, though, Carmella is really in her character. She's a very good heel. The character that she's portraying, she's pulling it off very well.
She's believable, yeah.
She's very believable.
In the ring, I mean, not the best.
No, but the character remains in the ring, She keeps it up. She's not the greatest in-ring technician, but she's good at what she does.
It's definitely too early to pull the plug on her, but
that's why I feel like she's got to retain the title, because she's barely had it. And if she loses to Charlotte here, no one will really take her seriously, because she didn't really beat Charlotte. Charlotte was beat up before she got there.
So the same kind of thing with Nia? Like, you can't take the title from Nia because they haven't given her a shot yet?
Yeah. Well, Nia, is going to stay strong. Nia's not losing. Honestly, I think the person most likely to lose a title, if a title is going to fall, is AJ Styles to Nakamura.
I think you're right, yeah.
If we're going to have a title change, I think it would be AJ.
Yeah, it's crazy, but yeah.
But maybe we just have nothing happen. And we see the show and it's like, yeah, nothing happened here. What's next?
That'd be great, though, to see that, because I just find almost every show, because you see so many title matches. I think we have like 5. Like, it just feels like there's always a title change, and titles don't mean that much because they always change hands.
But don't you want to watch a wrestling show and then at the end be like, oh, yeah, here's something?
Yeah, but you don't need a title change for that.
So what's going to be the talking point after Backlash? Oh, my God, I can't believe Big Cass beat Daniel Bryan.
Wow, you think that's going to happen?
I don't know. What's it going to be? Like, the WWE is going to leave us with something after Backlash. What is the story of Backlash going to be? Or will the story be, oh, Backlash really sucked?
Well, if AJ wins, it's the end, right? against Nakamura. And if Nakamura wins, we're getting this again at Money in the Bank.
Right.
So there's one right
there.
So
if AJ beats Nakamura, the feud is over? That's it? That's what we talk about? I don't know, man. I could see Nakamura winning the title.
I could see Samoa Joe choke out AJ to end the show. Why not?
Interference type of deal.
I really think they should go with Samoa Joe, AJ Styles. I think that's a huge match that needs to happen next.
Got a big reaction when Joe came out during AJ's promo on SmackDown this week. People want to see it. I want to see it. I don't think it needs to happen for the title, though. Especially if Joe is going to lose to Roman Reigns, which he will lose to Roman Reigns at Backlash. Joe's losing to Roman. He's going to get speared 1, 2, 3. So if Joe loses to Roman, I don't really want to see him go on and beat AJ Styles in his next match. Because then it shows you, well, Roman's up here, Joe is beneath him, and AJ's beneath that. Makes AJ look 3 levels weaker than Roman Reigns.
Maybe, but we've seen this in the past where AJ just becomes WWE champion, and next match he lost to Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar, though. Roman Reigns ain't Brock Lesnar. We've seen that time and time again.
But we've seen it before where top guys on Raw, they go over the SmackDown guys. They put over Raw more than SmackDown.
We have a couple Raw versus SmackDown matches, and I think Raw will win all of them. Roman and Joe, and Rollins and Miz. Rollins and Roman will both win from Raw.
They put over Raw as a better show.
Even though I was at both shows live this week, and SmackDown was the far superior experience. Thank you, Daniel Bryan. Thank you, Shinsuke. Thank you, AJ. You guys are awesome. Johnny North, when is your next match? That's a good time to see you live in the ring, not just the WWE. Go see Johnny North. When can people see you?
It's going to be May 27th for Drew Onyx's Torture Chamber on Industrial Boulevard, 4325. Bell time 2 p.m. Tickets $5.
Check him out. Follow him on Twitter at North Genesis. Follow me at Dave Simon MMA. WrestlingUncensored.net is our website. Subscribe to our feed on iTunes. You can get all the podcasts right to your device. If you subscribe, give us a 5-star review. Check us out on Google Play and on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ringsidereport.net. I'll be live on YouTube, and I'll have a podcast for you right after Backlash this Sunday night, early Monday morning. So be on the lookout for the Backlash post show coming up this Sunday. For Johnny North, I am Dave Simon. Thanks to Marco and Jimmy for helping us out, and thank you to you for listening. This has been Wrestling Uncensored. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus! Your boy! I mean... Watch the breakdown.